Real-Time Arena, Mojo's Mayhem Season 2 is out. Now I've had a much better user experience compared to Season 1. In this video, I'm going to talk about the changes that Scopely has made to objectives. They changed it from focusing from knockout-based objectives to character-based objectives. I'm going to talk about the rewards, what changed, what didn't change, and I'm going to give my overall user experience for this new season. So if you're ready for it, let's get into it. So Real-Time Arena Season 2, I definitely have a better user experience, and I'm really glad that Scopely has shifted the objectives from knockout-based objectives to character ability-based objectives. So let's go ahead and just run everything down with all the changes that has happened so far. And let's go ahead and just jump into Real-Time Arena. And while I give my thoughts and everything, I'm going to go ahead and just hop onto my dailies and just knock out some objectives. So far I've done a couple of them, but right now I need to use Hydra, I need to use Heimdall, and I need to use Daredevil. So I'm going to try to stack as many of these as possible. And I'm going to have this running in the background. So Hydra, Heimdall, Daredevil. So I'm going to forget about this. Hydra, Heimdall, Daredevil. Let's go ahead, that's what I was using before. Let's see, let's go ahead and start off with the Hydras, since they require the most amount of abilities in the beginning, or in general. So I'm going to go ahead and use characters that use the most tankiest character in the middle. That's what you want. Let's go ahead with Crossbones. Let's go with Red Skull. Let's go with the Hydra Scientist, so you can apply some death proofs. And then now, what was the next one? We use Daredevil and Heimdall. So let's go ahead and look for them. I should probably sort this so I can get there quicker, but I kind of have an idea where they are on my roster. There's Daredevil, last but not least Heimdall. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and just have this running in the background. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on everything. Let's just talk about the change of the daily flow from Season 1 to Season 2. So let's go back in time. Season 1, every day you would log in, and most of the objectives, they were either focused on knockouts, and they were focused on what I just showed you, character-based abilities. Now, before, like, if you wanted to try and complete, like, your knockouts and your character-based abilities, it was not ideal, or at least for me, it wasn't ideal to try to combine them together. Like, I really wanted to first knock out the character-based abilities first, and once I had all those done, then I shift over to a specific team that was really good at getting knockouts. So a lot of people were using Phoenix and 4 trash characters, and in my case, I actually preferred Baron Zemo and 4 trash characters. And so it just felt kind of weird, you know. Like, you go in, like I couldn't like stack those objectives. I couldn't stack trying to get knockouts and using characters, because sometimes those characters weren't that good. They weren't that strong. And there just wasn't a lot of synergy with the other characters I was trying to use, because I was trying to use their abilities. So that was Season 1. Now, since there's less emphasis on knockouts, there's more emphasis on using character-based abilities. So now I have Hydra, and I have Daredevil and Heimdall, and that's most of the daily objectives that I'm trying to accomplish. Now, there still are knockout and objectives to win the match, but it feels more like I can just have those running in the background, and those objectives will be completed organically or naturally as I'm just trying to use abilities for the current ones I'm showing you right now. So I definitely like the flow on a daily basis a lot better, and just in general, we can stack objectives a lot more now. So before, I mean, when you're doing knockouts, you can't really stack objectives, you know, like you would just use like Phoenix, Baron Zemo, and 4 trash characters. But now, since they had 3 weekly objectives that were like crazy in terms of knockouts: 250, 350, 550. They got rid of 350 and 550, and they replaced those with a lot of hundreds usage of using character abilities that focus more on the traits and origins of these characters. It was like, for me, I had to use abilities for protectors, support, mystic, tech, villain, and it was pretty fun to try to like stack as many characters as possible and create different combinations that applied to all those objectives. So in this case, I think I spent most of my time in the beginning trying to stack a protector, tech, and villain, and those are all tanky characters, so they were able to stay in the fight a lot longer and allowed me more time to use all their abilities. So I really just like, and I like that when we use these abilities on a daily basis, like right now, when I'm like using Hydra and Daredevil and Heimdall, it's very likely I'm going to be completing character-based objectives that apply to my weekly objectives. So that's definitely something that was different before. Like before, the daily objectives didn't really stack as much to the weekly objectives. And now that we're shifting over to these character-based objectives instead of knockout-based objectives, it's a lot faster. It is so much faster. I actually timed how long it takes to complete the weekly objectives this season compared to last season. So last season, on a daily basis, it took about, like, I don't know, like half an hour to complete the daily objectives. And then now the daily objectives, I can finish them maybe about half the time, 15-ish, 20 minutes. So already we're saving time on a daily basis. And now for the weekly objectives, last season, to do like up to 550 knockouts, it took me like 5 to 6 hours, on average 5.5 hours of just mindless, painful, just like clicking auto, and just I had my iPad next to me during the day, and I would just be clicking that constantly, getting into the battle, clicking auto, and just doing that on repeat for 5.5-ish hours. That's just it was so. I mean, I just want to test how long it takes. I didn't have to, do it completely all in one sitting, but that's how long it takes, right? And I did the same exact thing this season, and guess how long it took? It only took me 3.5 hours. I timed it, 3.5 hours. So 5.5 hours to 3.5 hours. So that's a big time saver. And we had to think about it. What is it about that made this process of completing the weekly objectives so much quicker than it was compared to last season? And let's see, one point is that less players quit. So I noticed that less players quit the match this time around because people are also trying to complete their abilities. Because imagine last season, let's say you're using your team of like, Phoenix or Baron Zemo and Force Trash characters. If you immediately queue into a battle and you see your opponent has a really balanced team of like Black Orders, Symbiotes, Asgardians, X-Men, like you're not likely going to be able to like get many knockouts. So therefore, that's why players quit. They don't want to waste their time, and it wastes the other player's time as well because they go into a battle, the other player quits. It's not a good user experience. So this time around, actually, maybe one person quit, but for the most part, no one quit the match. People were definitely just gonna let the game run on full auto, complete all their ability objectives. So that was, I really enjoyed that experience, and overall, I just liked seeing all the different variety of characters. And that's what they did express. That's what Scopely addressed in their mini blog that they released recently. Is that they really wanted to shift things away from people just like using the same characters, getting knockouts, and really just trying to celebrate diversity in one's roster. And we did see that. Like for me, I can see the weekly objectives have been tweaked. So now there's two objectives. Actually, I'll show you down here. There's two weekly objectives I have not completed, but they're not really necessary. I have not completed Shatterstar or She-Hulk's objectives, and that's because I have them at level 1. I don't use them. I'm not powering them up at the moment, and I think that the Scopely's algorithm with Mojo's Mayhem event, they're trying to, for the two weekly characters that they're going to assign to us to use the abilities, they're going to try to focus characters that we have not powered up or we powered up very lightly, because this is their way of trying to get us to put our resources into characters that we just don't have powered up, So and I haven't got confirmation that it's like this, but from other people I've talked to, they definitely got two characters chosen for the weekly objectives for ones that they don't really have powered up very strong. So yeah, I do plan to power up Shatterstar and not Loki, Shatterstar and Longshot next, after I finish my characters for Dark Dimension 4. But yeah, let's talk about rewards though. So rewards didn't change much, or actually at all, in terms of the general training materials, the power cores, the gear 15s, or the gear that you got, purple gear, orange ability materials, or actually no orange ability materials, but just the gear in general. So that didn't change, but Yellowjacket is now the featured character. Last season we had Baron Zemo, great choice. I bought the battle pass, I really wanted him, and the gear for Dark Dimension 4 coming up. I'll be entering soon. And this season I bought, I still will buy battle pass until I get into Dark Dimension 4 because I really need that tier 15 gear badly. So I will buy that. It's great value for $20. And the cool thing is that I actually predicted that Yellowjacket would be the featured character in the rewards for this season's Battle Pass. Some people thought it would be Beast or other characters, but I kind of anticipated that Pimtech was going to be the requirement for the next Legendary Jubilee. A lot of people were kind of predicting it, and it just made sense because I mean, they have to choose a character that will entice people. If they choose a character that a lot of people don't really care about in real-time arena as a reward, no one's going to buy it. So they definitely have to make sure that every season they do this, every month, they have to choose a very, very desirable character. They have to look at their data, their metrics, and see what's a character that a lot of people don't have at 7-star. And so Yellowjacket. And in terms of the Pimtech team, Scopely technically doesn't want people to get the 5-star or get the unlock for the new legendary, and they kind of want people to spend money. So we already had Wasp, we already had Ant-Man most likely at 7 stars for all endgame players, and that left us with Stature, Yellowjack, and Ghost. So I did all the blitzes and the events for Stature, Ghost, and Yellowjacket, and I was able to get the 5 stars just fine. Actually, I think I might have bought the offer for Ghost, one of the offers for Ghost, but because I heard she was so good. But with Yellowjacket, I just did the blitz. I didn't buy the offer. I did top 1% for both his blitzes, and I'd only have a 4-star. And even with the rewards for real-time arena, if I didn't spend the battle pass, I would only still have a 4-star. I'd be close to 5-star, and unless they decide to make it farmable, most likely they will before Jubilee's event comes to unlock her. It might be kind of close. I might have to spend power cores, refresh some means to buy some orb to get more Yellowjacket shards. But yeah, so I'll be buying Yellowjacket's battle pass this time around, and I'll have a 5-star across the board for all the characters, and I'll be unlocking Jubilee when she comes next. So I've talked about how great all these changes have been. I really like just in general what they've done. They're going in the right direction with this real-time arena. But the issue I still have with this game mode, in its fundamental core, people are still just full autoing. So even though they changed the objectives before, you would try to do knockouts, and now you're using characters to use their abilities, people are still just full autoing. I'm still full autoing. And people don't like that feeling, it just feels boring, like it just feels tedious. But unfortunately, I don't see that changing. Like, even though they're Scopely's open to feedback, they're listening to see how they can change this real-time arena game mode, I don't see it changing from people using full auto. And I'm not too convinced that the community would want that to change, even though they're complaining they don't want that. Because imagine it, let's compare real-time arena to other game modes. Let's talk about raids. People just want to full auto that mode. Like for me, that's what I want to do. I want to power up characters that I can just full auto and just be as efficient as possible. And that's going to be the same mentality with this game mode. People want to be as efficient as possible to complete all the objectives for real-time arena. It's meant to celebrate or just to have the enjoyment of fighting other players in real time, which is really cool. We don't have that right now in the game, but that would just be a lot of time, right? To play this game mode, even though it's just really engaging. So I don't foresee them changing the fundamental gameplay. We're still gonna have to full auto complete the objectives, but then let's get into the next part. How are they gonna improve that and real-time arena in general? And that's where leagues are going to come into play. So when this match finishes, I'll show you the main interface for real-time arena. But in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a part that's I guess that's grayed out. It's called leagues, and this is where I think that the game is going to kind of have a seasonal leaderboard, kind of like how we have a season rank leaderboard for Rage and War. So depending on the performance of your alliance, you'll be ranked maybe top 100, top 1%, 5%, top 10%, and your alliance and you will get rewards according to your position or your rank. So I foresee that's what leagues is going to be about. So imagine it, right now, I'm just full autoing. I don't care if I win or lose this match. But once they have leagues put into play, and it might be like other games, you know, that have PvP, like Clash Royale. So depending if I win or lose this fight, I'm gonna get points that bring me up higher or lower in the ladder. So when that happens, I am definitely gonna be caring about the results of the battle. I'll just show you actually, where is it right now? Okay, yeah. So you can see right there on the bottom, leagues coming soon. So that I won that last battle, my rank is gonna keep going higher, and I might be put in a different bracket. And depending where I rank at the end of the season, I'm gonna get rewards. Where are those rewards gonna be? I don't know. I think orange ability materials is a very likely candidate, because orange ability materials aren't something that a lot of players spend money on, or unless you're a whale. But I think they're a very desirable resource that we need so many of. We need so many orange ability materials. So I think those are likely going to be rewards. I don't foresee them putting tier 15 gear as rewards for upcoming leagues, just because I think that, you know, those are still very desirable. People are still probably buying the offers, and they're still doing a lot of events. They're buying the battle pass for these tier 15 gear. So I don't think they want to like generously give out it in a seasonal ranking leaderboard for Real-Time Arena. So yeah, I think that's everything. You know, overall, all in all, I enjoy this game mode. Definitely step in the right direction. There's gonna be improvements, but at the end of the day, let's just wait for leagues to come out. Let's just give this game mode more of a reason to care about the end result. But I just really like that it's cut down on time, completing all the daily and weekly objectives. And now with Blitz Sim, we just have more screen time where we can be more engaging in the game and play other things like the more difficult challenges and raids and Alliance War. So those are all my thoughts about Real-Time Arena so far in Season 2. I can't wait to see what we have in store for next season and what other changes Scopely is going to bring to improve this game mode based on our feedback. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like for this video if you like what you see. Leave a comment. Let me know how Real-Time Arena has been for you so far. And as always, it's been a pleasure. I am Pio Pico signing out. I'll see y'all next time.